Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today we are morning. Today we're going to go ride with, well, he's almost becoming a regular on the channel, Joe Skipper. So I live in Andorra currently, and nearby is a place called Font Romeo, a place that I've never really been, but it is a really popular training base for, seemingly, triathletes. I don't know if it was a popular training base for triathletes, but it certainly is a popular training base now. Hi, Juliet. It is a popular training base now. Well, Christian Blumenfeld has been there for a while. Gustav Eden, Joe Skipper, and yeah. So I guess amongst the triathletes, it's going to become more popular, I'd imagine. A bit like Girona. Pros started going there, and now every pro lives there. And then Andorra, pros started going here, and now every pro lives here. So yeah, I'm not going to go all the way to Font Romeo. I'm going to ride towards Joe. Joe's doing the Tri-Nations loop, which is a loop Chanel did the other day, which is where you can do it either way. It's I do it quite often because it's with 2,000 meters climbing. It's the flattest route around here that you can do whilst doing quite a lot of kilometers. There's about 130k and 2,000 meters of elevation, which is not flat. And the reason it's called Tri-Nations is you do France, Spain and Andorra. So I'm going to ride out the French border, descend where Joe will be ascending. I'm going to meet Joe, spin around, ride back to Andorra, then we're going to drop down. I mean, I'm racing in a couple of days, so I don't want to do too much today, but I'm happy just to ride. Gonna have a chat with Joe, ask some questions about triathlon, because after the sub 7 I want to understand a bit more about it. We're going to stop at a cafe, so I need to scope out the best cafe in Andorra, which I think is one that I almost never go to because it's right near the house, right near the apartment house. We don't live in a house. Probably going to go there to fuel Joe for the rest of his ride, and then I'll descend with him and then probably return home. So before we head out the door, just need to thank today's sponsor, which is Surfshark once again. So thank you to them. As you know, been sponsors of the channel for a long time, and without them wouldn't be doing the YouTube. So thank you to Surfshark once again for sponsoring. As you know, Surfshark is a virtual private network, otherwise known as a VPN. There's more than 4 reasons why you need a VPN, but here is 4. One is it hides your IP address, so your city, country and download history aren't linked to your identity. It helps encrypt all your data and keep it safe, like credit card details and your personal information when you're on the public Wi-Fi. If you travel a lot, the chances are you're often logged into hotel Wi-Fi, which isn't super safe, so you can change location easily, jump into watching race pass or anything that's geo-blocked from wherever you are. Surfshark does unlock more than 15 Netflix libraries around the world. I've been using it to get Disney Plus in places that haven't got Disney Plus yet. Surfshark uses encryption to protect you against snooper and third-party advertisers, so your data isn't being sold on and you won't be inundated with pesky online dating pop-up ads. For this month, it's the same deal as ever, which is 83% off and an extra 3 months for free, which is using my code DOWSET. That's all in capitals, so thanks again to Surfshark. I'm rolling a handlebar bag today to keep the camera safe. Nutrition-wise, I've got 2 big bottles full of Morton 160. So there's 80 grams, there's 2 sachets in each, which I'm not sure you're meant to do, but that's what I'm doing. So I've got some bars, some gels, some 160 grams. To be honest, drinks should do it today. 160 grams of carbs just in my bottles, so that should be sufficient. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get out the door. Go on. Oh. Underway, straight uphill. So from where we live, I have a choice of uphill or downhill. It means ending the ride in either uphill or downhill, but inevitably to get to the downhill I would have had to have done quite a lot of uphill. So we moved here. The reason we moved to Andorra was
I had an epiphany moment where Rohan Dennis beat me in the first Worlds he won by an extraordinary amount of time. And I was living in Essex at the time, and I think up till that point it worked well for me for reasons I will go into another time. But then I thought I need to change something, and so I came home from Worlds and I was like, Chanel, this is a guy that I beat in 2014 Commonwealth Games. And I'm not here to say that I would have beaten him that day, but just the gap was far too big. So I've fallen behind. I need to change something. I think we need to move to Andorra. And we moved to Andorra. Chanel was fully behind it. As a Kiwi, had no idea what Andorra was. She's like, that's great, let's do it, where is it, what is it? And I was like, right, well. So, yeah, the following spring we shut shop in Essex and moved our life across, and yeah, I've improved. I still don't beat Rowan, but I closed the gap again, and that's the danger of standing still, which I think I did for a couple of years in my career. Stood still and the game moved. But, so here we are at 2,100 meters elevation right now, right into the top of that hill, mountain, who am I kidding? This is the highest point in the Tour de France last year, which I went and watched, which you can see in the banner up there. Yeah, the top of this tops out 2,400 meters. There's a hotel up there, and there are a lot of bike riders that stay in that hotel preparing for their next goals. So, yeah, about 35 minutes to the top, and then we got a big downhill. The sound of, and he's brought a team with him. Bringing around, e-bike on the route ride. Joe brought the whole team with him. And a one by set up to Andorra. 54. We're set in 11:32 on the bag. Mental. But
well, I don't ride the TT bike much.
Oh, it's not your fault, you're a triathlete.
Nah.
You're not to know these things, these nuances.
I've got team mechanics.
Neither have I, mate. I need to ask, because Chanel's doing the Ironman Copenhagen in a week. Three top tips for a first timer. What mistakes did you make on your first Ironman?
Not eating enough on the run. I was in a good position, and then I blew up a bit on the last 10 k. Another one would be enjoy it, because it is a good day, and with the crowd support and everything. And the third one, just give it your all, keep ploughing away. It's not as bad. I mean, the worst thing is mentally before you do it. It seems crazy, but the day goes quick.
Yeah.
It's like when you get married, mate. You gotta enjoy it. The day goes quick.
There you have it, an Ironman, just like your wedding day. I mean, I expected a lot of things from that. I didn't expect that.
That's what everyone says to you.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Because your sub 7, sub 8 hangover was your wedding day.
Yeah, stag party, and then getting married.
Didn't you do an Ironman on your stag party?
Just before we started, but we didn't do the run.
Right.
I couldn't face doing another one, but we had to go there because that was where we're meeting everyone. And originally I wasn't supposed to do sub 7, so I was going to do it full on. It was actually a bit of a driving holiday through the mountains, which would have been right up your street.
Right up my street.
Like Porsches, M5, Tom.
Your M5.
Yeah, Tom and Ferrari. Like, cruising around all the nice roads. A few beers in the evening.
Yeah. We could go to a smaller cafe actually, which is a smaller one that's, yeah, we'll do that. If you're after good coffee,
Yeah.
I've changed my mind. We're going to Del Bosque in Soldado. Just got to get to the top of this.
Rating out of 10.
Yeah.
Coffee.
It's gone. What's good? It's gone already.
Scale of 1 to 10, Andorran coffee.
Well, the good thing is, then you've got the time to take another one.
Second coffee.
We're gonna call that. We're gonna call that an 8.
Excuse me, mine was empty.
Joe, how's the coffee?
Coffee was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Tom? 8 out of 10? 8, 9?
8, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 or 9 out of 10 is
pretty good.
decent. Yeah, decent. That's a good choice.
Freshwater fountains. What's not to love?
Andorra, place to be. Well, for triathletes, I wouldn't say. Is there a pool here? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a couple of
There is.
pools. Problem is, there's not many flat roads.
Yeah, that's
It's too hard, the riding for me.
It's too hard. It's something
Yeah.
I never thought I'd hear you say, Joe.
Yeah, but if you're 80 kilos, you don't really want to live in
That's all I hear are excuses.
Joe's motto for the sub 7 was, it's not meant to be easy, is it? But now
Suddenly, this is too hard. Oh, poor Joe.
anyway, these boys are going to continue. I'm going to go home, and yeah, you guys are all around, aren't you? Like for a couple of weeks still, right?
Yeah, we are 4 weeks here,
Yeah,
and yeah, maybe we see each other again.
yeah,
Afterwards.
yeah. We'll all. Maybe I'll get my time trial bike out, and we can all go ride time trial bikes together. Yeah, it'll be fun. That's me for the day. Would have loved to have done the whole loop, but racing Tour of Denmark in 2 days, so a 6-hour ride on the Sunday before a stage race is not considered wise. But the cafe stop was a success. That's Del Bosque in Soldado, and you know, I was nervous. It's not a big cafe. I was worried about seating space, but we had ample seating space outside. Coffee. You can get some bad coffees around here. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to be responsible for the cafe stop, but I feel like I excelled. Good bunch of guys. Didn't have enough time to get to know everyone, but blast from the past. Thomas Decker was out, and which was cool. Yeah, good chats with Joe. One thing, actually, Joe said it off his own back, but one thing he said that was interesting was, so Joe did 2 years ago, Joe won the national 12-hour TT, averaging 300 watts, which is just absurd. Like, it's an absurd amount of power to average for 12 hours, and he did an absurd distance as well. And he said that was harder than an Ironman, which I thought was interesting. But he said it was more. I mean, obviously it takes longer than it takes Joe to do an Ironman. Like Joe's sort of 8 hours ish, but he said it's longer because of the mental aspect. Like it didn't really get interesting until the back end of the 12 hours, because then you go on to smaller roads. So yeah. But they're here for a few weeks, so I'm gonna, once I'm back from Tour of Denmark and Chanel's Ironman, I'm gonna hook up with them again, go for some more bike rides, because just a real fun bunch of lads. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, and see you. Next video will probably be either from the Tour of Denmark or feeding back from Chanel's Ironman from the spectator's point of view. But yeah, cheers. See you soon.